What's up, everybody? Welcome to PreWorkouts 3 Raw TV. You guys read that right, and I'm telling you right now, tonight's probably going to start a bunch of shit for me because I got a feeling that a lot of people that own these supplement companies in general are going to be fucking rip shit. And just like they are about the branched chain amino acid things, many companies, more and more companies, I should say, are now coming out with essential amino acid formulas and shit canning the BCAAs. They're still trying to sell them. They're giving it their best shot, but they're seeing the writing on the wall that BCAAs has been exposed as a shitty fucking supplement, and it's starting to go away. And I'm glad, because essential amino acids build muscle, right? We're going to talk about why all these high stims, and including, I'm not talking about like a little bit of caffeine. I'm talking about like 400 milligrams of caffeine, multiple types of caffeine, fucking yohimbe, DMAA, DHA, EA, whatever, all their fucking shit that they're putting in these things, these random fucking stims, and they combine them together to give you like a fucking drug-like effect. I mean, they are drugs. You know, technically they're nutritional supplements, but even caffeine is a fucking drug. It's labeled as a drug, but technically it's, you know, even it comes to caffeine anhydrous is not even natural. So I don't even know how the fuck they put it in supplements because it is a drug. I don't think we could put acetaminophen in a supplement because that's a drug, but we could put caffeine. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But bottom line is why these high stem pre-workouts are stopping you from gaining muscle, keeping you from gaining. Now, let's start at the beginning, how this whole thing got spawned. Like, over the last few years, you know, I go to these gyms when I travel. I train at my gym. I train in different gyms here and there when I can. And I see everybody fucking slamming their pre-workouts, right? Their branch chains and their fucking pre-workouts. And the one thing I noticed was these people are all training and they're all fucking very on point with their pre-workouts and their branch chains, but they're not fucking gaining any muscle. Many of them don't look like they lift. I mean, they go to the gym. If they're going to the gym training even half-assed at these kids' ages and they're eating, they're going to fucking grow. And I'm sitting there looking at them, and they're not changing, they're not growing, they don't look like they lift, but they're pumping out more money for these products, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Now, when I was a teenager, I was growing fairly fast, right? And I'm not the most genetically blessed guys, but by the time I was 20 years old, I was 205 pounds. I was a pretty big kid already at 5'8" and 3/4. And I started at 135 pounds. So I know it can be done, even if you're cutting corners and fucking up left and right, you're gonna grow if you're consistent. And these fucking guys were consistent. So I'm willing to bet now, looking back, that it was probably more, if they were fucking around in the gym, they probably weren't eating enough, you know, bottom line. But all of these people aren't eating enough. Like all these guys that I see all over the country, all of them are not eating enough. How is that even fucking possible? So maybe they're not stimulating the muscles in the gym, right? Okay, but they're taking their pre-workout. So they're going and I'm watching them train. They're training pretty hard. But something is fucking going on because they should be gaining more muscle than this. And I'm noticing this. Now it's been a couple of years and I'm still noticing it. And I ask questions, just, you know, anybody that's ever met me knows I usually ask them a lot of questions just about themselves and stuff. But I ask questions trying to find out. And what I found out was the stimulation, and I have all the science to back it up. And we're going to go through with it because people are going to shit right now on how you can fucking completely fucking blast your gains out of the fucking sky if you stop fucking around with these high stim pre-workouts. No matter how they make you feel, no matter how much energy they give you, they're not truly getting you to work the muscle to get the metabolic response to grow new muscle. They're not. They're actually holding you back. Okay, now let me kind of start off by saying the central nervous system is like a highly misunderstood thing that, I mean, bodybuilders and people in the gym don't give a fuck. Powerlifters understand it, okay? It comes into play with powerlifting. Now, why powerlifting? Because the way the central nervous system works is when there's a signal, which is an electrical impulse that goes to the muscle fibers, it goes to the motor units first. We're going to go through all this, right? I'll read it right off the thing. So motor unit recruitment. Motor units are defined as motor neurons in the muscle fibers that they're attached to, right? There are typically hundreds of motor units in any given muscle, but the exact number can vary quite widely between muscles. When the central nervous system causes an action potential or electrical signal to travel along the motor neuron, this recruits the motor unit and it causes all of the muscle fibers governed by that motor unit to be activated at once. All boom, immediately, right? So think of 1 rep max in a powerlifter, right? Their central nervous system fires and they actually train their central nervous system. So you notice they train within a certain range. So training 12, 15, 20 reps for powerlifters is not going to help. You know why? The metabolic fatigue actually works the muscles. Now, what they want to do is get as many fibers to fire at one time for that 1 rep max by stimulating the central nervous and being able to turn on the central nervous system to move that weight. Now, think of the lady who the car falls on her kid and she fucking reaches down, she picks up the car and fucking rips it off the kid, right? That wasn't muscular strength, okay? That was the central nervous system combined with adrenaline that gave her the strength to do that, right? So now what happens is you have something that's constantly stimulating your central nervous system, which is continuously firing those motor units, firing more muscle fibers. But here's the problem. Firing more fibers is not what it's about if they're all at once. It's motor recruitment in order. The way that the fibers are recruited in order is to what causes hypertrophy, not just firing the fibers all at once. Otherwise, everybody could do 1 rep maxes and grow like a motherfucker very quickly. We got the guys that weigh 140 pounds that can squat 600 pounds in a powerlifting competition. And you're like, how is that even fucking possible? He doesn't even have the muscle big enough to be able to move that weight, because it's not about the muscular hypertrophy. It's about the central nervous stimulation in firing as many motor units as you can that lock up those fibers and fire them all at once. Now, let's just go through this a little bit more. Hopefully this is making sense to you guys, because it is kind of it's a school thing to me. You know, and it really is. It's like going to school. It says, how are the motor units recruited? Recruited in order of motor neurons. So not the muscle fiber size, which can be identified by the amplitude of the action potential, because larger motor neurons display large action potentials. This is called Hernanins size principle. We can measure the level of force at which an individual motor units are recruited during muscular contractions. This provides a measurement of the recruitment threshold. This threshold is simply the force in newtons, or torque in Newton meters, at which the motor unit is first switched on by the central nervous system. Motor units that are recruited earlier in the sequence often have relatively lower levels of force, are called low threshold motor units, and they are governed a small number of muscle fibers, right? The ones immediately. So the ones that your central nervous system fires. Now, why am I getting? Because those supplements that you're taking that have the stims in it have your central nervous system already stimulated. That's why you feel energy. It's not true muscular energy. It's central nervous system stimulation, which means that you constantly have those motor neurons ready to fire, which is not technically true muscular energy. It doesn't provide hypertrophy. That's why these guys are able to take all these pre-workouts, go to the gym and slam a bunch of weights, but they can't fucking grow. They're actually not stimulating the muscles the way they need to be stimulated for muscular hypertrophy. They're just moving weight, which the body can also do via the central nervous system, aka the skinny powerlifter who lifts a lot of fucking weight. So there's another, okay, let's go through this whole thing. So there's also a thing here where they actually did a study, okay, an actual study of pre-workouts with stims in them and non-pre-workouts, and it was a 6-week study, right? So it wasn't a long study, but in 6 weeks you should see some muscle growth or some fat loss or something happening, or weights going up in the gym. In 6 weeks, if you purchased the product, didn't help you in 6 weeks, you wasted your money. But there was no significant difference that was noted between the pre-workout and non-pre-workout groups in the DEXA scan, which means they DEXA scanned these people and there was no changes in fat-free mass, no changes in fat mass, no changes in the actual strength. It says that the baseline was 4.5, which was their ratio of LF. The baseline was at 4.7 at the end of it. That was the people that took the pre-workout. So what it did was basically what you would do on your own if you didn't take the pre-workout that was full of stims. Now, this is based on their data. Much of the what you're seeing, so let's go through the bottom of it. Much of what you're seeing in these supplements themselves are based on the individual ingredients and the science behind the individual ingredients. When they start combining them, there's either a synergy or sometimes it would be too much. Okay, so for instance, if you had 200 milligrams of caffeine, now you had 400 milligrams of caffeine, add 3 milligrams of Yohimbe, add DHAA to it, add fucking huperzine to it, add all these other things that were stims to it, throw in some green tea for the fuck of it too, have 3 different types of caffeine in there. Now what's happening to me, it's too much of a stimulation. So now what's happening is that central nervous system is firing, your adrenaline is firing, so not only are you not getting the muscular contractions, but as you start to fry your central nervous system and your adrenals, which causes adrenal fatigue, 2 things happen. One thing is a raise in cortisol and a delayed recovery, which means the only way your body can recover is time off completely to regenerate your central nervous system and your adrenal glands. Without doing that, you're not going to fucking be recovered. And if you don't recover, you can't grow. You must recover before you actually grow muscle. First you stimulate, then you get out of the gym and you eat, you recover, you grow. Growth comes after recovery. You're delaying that recovery. Before you're even recovered, you're back in the gym training again on more stims and you're never fully recovering. Like, this is a huge problem because everybody thinks as long as you have enough energy and you move the weight, that you're fine. It's not about moving that weight. It never has been. But these companies, they either don't fucking know this or they know this and they don't give a fuck. I know, for a matter of fact, manufacturing actually contacted me and they said, with your pre-workout, do you want to add this ingredient, right? And I said, no. Why the fuck would I want to add that? It doesn't do shit. They said, well, there's a feeling with it. And a lot of the companies add this to their pre-workouts so that people feel something, because if they feel it, they think they're working. And I said, what? He said, they actually ask us for this. They actually ask us to put it in there. It's extremely cheap and you'll feel the effect. And I was like, what the I said, no, I don't want that fucking shit in my product. Matter of fact, it's beta-alanine. That's the thing. There's no fucking, nobody's ever fucking taken beta-alanine and fucking got great results from it. It's in every fucking goddamn pre-workout stack though. Every single one. Not one person's ever taken beta-alanine by itself and said, oh my God, it works so fucking well. Because you know what? People be taking beta-alanine all over the place. But throw it in that fucking blend with all kinds of other shit in there, even if it's clinical dosing, you feel the effects of it right away. Then the stim effect hits you. Now you're like, fuck, I'm itchy, I'm stimmed. You fucking think you're ready to go. You're basically a meth head at this point. You're stimmed and itchy and fucking ready to go in the gym. You're a meth head. And I'm sitting here going, fuck, like as I'm finding this shit out, I'm like, there's no fucking way. I just can't sit on it. I can't sit back and go, fuck, you know, one of the amazing things that fucking actually causes fucking the body to produce more energy and power, creatine. Fucking creatine monohydrate. One of the most basic things. Now, it's in a lot of formulas, right? But they throw it in there just to throw it in there. They're not using it effectively. Like there are things like creatine out there that absolutely not only have the science to back them up, but have actually been used before and work fucking amazing, but you don't feel them until you're in the gym training. And then what happens is when you're in the gym training, you get more reps, you fucking use more weight. The body's actually going through that fiber recruitment in order, growing new fucking muscle. It's not your central nervous system getting stemmed out of your skull. Next thing you know, you're fucking growing like a weed. But add 2 grams of creatine in a fucking pre-workout with all those stims and some other random shit. Next thing you know, you have a formula that is going to definitely undo whatever the fucking creatine is going to do in there, hands down. And then you have the pump formulas, which I think would be even better than stims. But they're still not going to give you muscular hypertrophy, but they'll give you sarcoplasmic hypertrophy. So if anything, the best way to do this is to have some kind of pre-workout that causes muscular energy so that you can actually train and not overstimulate your central nervous system, because you're still going to have to stimulate your central nervous system naturally to get those muscles to move, but something that can produce more force, power, and strength during those reps with the 12 to 13 higher reps of the muscle fibers being recruited in the proper order and using a pump product. That would be like the ideal situation, but there's so many pump products out there, like I don't even understand fucking half the shit that they combine, because each one of them has an effect, but none of these companies know the effects of them together. They throw them together and throw it on the market, and either it works or it doesn't. I would like to see them take each one, to combine 2 at a time, and then combine 3, like to actually do some work to figure out which ones are actually working and which ones aren't. Do away with the shit that's not working very well. Keep the stuff that works and just make that a solid product, but that takes time, that takes money, takes research, and that's not what they're into. Right? But this, what you guys are hearing right here, right now, is 2 years of research for me. Okay? This is why I stopped taking a lot of the stims I was taking before. If I need it now when I'm going to the gym and I feel like, look, I just need to push myself, caffeine. 200 milligrams of caffeine, tops, in the gym to get the effect that I need. Other than that, there's no fucking way I'm putting stims back in my body. I don't need to have my adrenal glands fucked with. I don't need to go into adrenal fatigue. I do not need to be in the gym fucking pushing weights around and saying, well, it's just pushing around for the fuck of it because I'm not getting in results. Bottom line, guys, I want fucking results. People that come to me and talk to me and ask questions and fucking send me emails and Skypes and shit want fucking results. They don't want the best supplements on the market because people said so. They don't want what the next fucking pro is showing them, shoving in their face. They want fucking results. And it's about time that people start fucking pay attention into actual science that's out there. All these fucking companies talk about fucking studies. This is what's out there, motherfuckers. All you fucking assholes that are out there fucking talking about your high stims and really calling your products like crack and shit and all weird shit like that, you're stopping people from gaining muscle. But you're pulling money out of their pocket at the same time with cheap fucking ingredients and high price tags. And the more that they don't get gains, the more they're going to try to get gains. The more they're going to need more of this shit. Rather than giving them a fucking product that actually works and saying, look, it'll help you fucking gain muscle. And if you want to continue taking it to keep gaining muscle, knock yourself out. But at least you're going to gain some fucking muscle. That wouldn't be the right thing to do. Why? Why would that be? Because it's more expensive. There's less profit margin. And they come out with new and fucking sexier shit all the time that doesn't work. But if it's on the label, they can market as being the first ones out there. How about being one of the first fucking things out there, the first companies out there to make a fucking product that actually works, isn't priced through the goddamn roof, has science behind it, and has fucking real life practical experience behind it? What a fucking concept. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostrength.com/blog. It's No Stims Bicep, and we are out.